Hello, my friends. I'm Rich Larson, and I'm the IRC Tire Guy. Today, we have got a banger of an episode for you guys. I figured what better way to ring in the new year than get a brand new bike. We've got the 2024 TE300 from Husqvarna. Now, this is the top tier of the KTM brand machines, I believe, right? It's KTM is kind of the middle of the line. Gas is the lowest, most least expensive. And then we've got the Husky here, which is the most expensive. Now, I'm really excited to put some time on this bike. There's a lot of changes that they've made. I rode a little bit of the new TBI system, the throttle body injection system, over the TPI system. I rode a little bit of it, but not enough to really do a full review. We've also got the X-Act spring fork and completely different forks and shocks, which I'm really excited about. I've heard that they're just as good as the KYB, which obviously you guys have known. I've been on the betas for a while. And I love the KYB setup on the betas. I love the betas in general, but I gotta test some different stuff. And so we got ourselves a Husky here. Now, what I wanted to do is, instead of doing the same old review where I'm kind of like, hey, you know, this is my initial thoughts and riding it, I want to do it live, like Bill O'Reilly. We'll do it live. So what I want to do is get on this thing, and I'm mic'd up. I'm gonna ride around and tell you exactly what I'm feeling. Now, this is the first time I've rode this bike. I've literally done maybe 1 or 2 wheelies on it. I rode it from the truck to here. I've already felt it a little bit. I'm like, okay, I've got a couple things that I'm thinking of, but I wanna show it to you guys as it's happening. I've got a boulder here I'm gonna ride over. We're gonna goof around, hit a couple sections. I'm gonna talk you through exactly what I'm feeling. It's definitely different. I can already tell. It's different from the betas that I'm used to. So we'll see what I can handle on this thing. I mean, there's some big stuff out here. I don't know if I dare do it first time on the bike. I know you guys would like to see me crash, but I don't know if I want to wreck this thing. It is very pretty. So anyway, I'm really excited about this. Happy New Year to everybody, and let's get into it right now with the test of the Husqvarna TE300. What's up, Romer? All right, guys. We are ready to go here. We're gonna fire this thing up and yeah, get a little test going, man. I'm excited to do this for you guys. I think this is a cool way to review a bike. Just right off the bat, kind of show you what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, and yeah, break this thing down for you. I've already started it up. I've already warmed it up. It's amazing the difference I'm already feeling just in the TBI system, the way the bike runs. Leave it in gear every time. Never once have I found neutral. It's definitely a little bit cold-blooded. In fact, since we'll be riding slow, I'll go no goggles. So it's definitely a little bit, see, it's definitely a little bit cold-blooded. I'd raise the idle a little bit, I could, but I've said it before in past videos, I like to keep the idle quite low. So already, first thing I usually do when I'm on a bike is I like to lug it like this. And I'll tell you what, that's pretty dang smooth. Possibly the smoothest KTM branded machine that I've ever felt. You know, I gotta say, you know, we can honestly just start the review right here. Personally, I don't know if I like, I guess it would be the porting or the ignition, the timing, whatever it is, of the KTM specifically. To be totally honest, I find them a little bit uneven, especially the TPIs. When they went to TPI in like whatever, 19. I rode quite a few of those, 19, 21, 22. I rode quite a few TPIs, 300s, 250s, and I always felt like they were kind of like uneven on the idle. They had this like kind of sputter on the idle, and it's just kind of and I've talked about that before, like with the betas. Like, I love the smoothness of the beta. So the biggest thing for me about the beta is how smooth it runs. If you can hear right here how steady this low power zone is, go ahead and listen. Already, I'll say that this is definitely the smoothest KTM I've ever ridden. In fact, I even went back to a carb KTM this year doing a clinic, and it was like an 18 KTM. It was carb. I mean, it ran great. It was a beast. I mean, the thing was so fast, but I still had just a little bit of an uneven idle. So I have to say, this is definitely already, I can tell that lug right there. You can hear it's very smooth, it's clean, it's kind of non-stop, that one note. That's what I'm looking for. I want that one note. Something that I always felt with the TPIs is they tend, again, this is a little cold-blooded, it'll probably warm up, but they tend to do this thing where it'll almost sputter off the face of an obstacle. So we'll get to an obstacle, but something I always do, first thing I do on a brand new bike, we gotta wheelie it, right? Or as my boy Jerry says, do a papa wheelie. Always, always, always. Yeah, she wheelies nice. Okay, all right. I like it. Definitely balanced, feels good, side to side. I can feel already this mousse is a little bit stiffer than I would like it to be. This is a different setup. This is a Michelin mousse with holes drilled. I believe it's an M18 with holes drilled every about 5 inches. And with a JX8 Dakota and a new GX20 front tire. Yeah, the mousse is a little on the stiff side. Not my usual setup. Usually I run a golden tire mousse, so that's a little bit softer. This is a little stiff. Let's see how she sticks over this rock. Ooh. Nice. It's definitely got some pep to it. Let's feel the delivery of power. Pretty dang smooth. A little bit of spin there from the mousse, but pretty dang smooth. I like that delivery of power there. Clean. Ooh, that was nice. Not so sure about this front brake though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's feel. Kind of a front brake is spongy, so that's something I noticed on this. This is all Brake Tech components. We got a Brake Tech clutch, Brake Tech Slave, Brake Tech Master, Brake Tech, everything's Brake Tech. I tested the Brake Tech on the gas in 21 when it was all Brake Tech. I liked the clutch. This clutch feels great. This front brake is a little on the spongy side though. It's I'll be honest, it's kind of crappy. Not the best. Let's feel one more. I mean, just notice here, that's bad news. That's not good. So front brake could use a bleed, which is annoying because this is a brand new bike. Brand new. And I gotta use rear to get it to stop in a balanced position. You can feel it even there. I'm like holding the front and it rolls. So not the best front brake. I felt like, I've said it before, I ran the Brembo, the Brake Tech, and the Nissan, which comes on the betas. I would say Nissan is the middle of the line. Brembo is always the best to me, and Brake Tech takes last place, and it's still last place. So maybe I'll have to bleed it. Let's do another wheelie. Wheelies are cooler than stoppies anyway, right? So, as far as power delivery goes though, it's nice. Nice pop. I tell you what, these KTMs, the Huskies, all of them, the gases, they are so peppy, man. They're so snappy. I mean, look at all that pop, the lift that I get on that zap. You can see, I mean, my rear tire's coming off the ground 2 feet before the obstacle. If you'd stand right there for me. My rear tire is literally jumping off of the ground. You can see there. So much pop on these, on the KTM branded machines. The engine is very strong. I wish I had a little better front brake. We'd do some tech lines, but that being said, I definitely like the delivery of the power. The suspension actually feels pretty good. I thought it was too stiff, but it actually feels pretty dialed in. You know, this is super initial. I haven't done anything on it yet, but honestly, it's pretty plush, but stiff, right? That's what you want. You want suspension that can handle the hard hits, yet be able to take the chop and the loose rocks and stuff, be able to settle into the stroke. And I can feel this actually settles decently. I think I could add a little bit of sag, but you know, there's all different things that I need to do. How about precision? What kind of precision we got here? Oh, that was close. That was close. This is the fun stuff to me, man. I could goof around on a rock for an hour. Still screwed it up. Let's try one more time. Such a dumb trick, and I'll do it over and over. Did you hear that on that delivery there? So I did a little pivot there. I kind of landed on that. It took me 3 tries to do. As soon as I landed on that front though, I delivered the power into it. And I heard a little bit of a sputter. Little bit. Let's see if I can get it to repeat. And those are those little things that I noticed, but and I'm not even really sure if it even matters. Almost feels like maybe it could have been cleared out. Let's hear. Let's do a hill climb and see what happens. All right. So as I was clearing it out, I thought, you know, what better way to clear it out than see if it can climb something. So we're gonna try to pull second on this. Now, the gearing feels all right. Let's talk about that. This is kind of crazy. The gearing is, I believe that's 1346 or 1345. Yeah, 1345. I've never ran a 45 sprocket in my life. So they definitely, yeah, I'm not gonna do the math. Started to do the math there, not gonna do it. But 1345, man, that's pretty wild. So what we're gonna do here, I guess that's pretty close to the beta stock gearing. See, I did the math anyway while I was talking. The beta stock gearing is 1448. So that's pretty close, 3.5 teeth. So I think. So that being said, yeah, it should be able to pull second up this. Get some balance. First gear, second gear. We're gonna load her up and give her. Wow. Jeez Louise. I could have got closer. It was kind of crazy. I wasn't sure if it was gonna pull me. I was flying the clutch a bit. You could hear I was low into the power, but man, it was pulling at the top. Let's see how close we can get. Let's see if we can fail. We'll go all the way. Once again, second gear, all the way up to the face. Full stop. Hitting the steeper side too. The right side's a little steeper, right? There we go. Wide open. sit into the face, and then I try to float above the seat on the way up. That was awesome. That was cool. I didn't think I was gonna make it, but these things pull. Like I said, man, these KTM's Huskies, man, they are so strong. Got a guy flying over. They are so strong in the power. They have so much, it's such an interesting power. It puts out what you put in, right? You can honestly tell there's sort of an electronic feel to it. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I mean, I just climbed something that the 250 Beta didn't make it up like that. So, you know, obviously the 300 Beta probably would. But the thing about the difference that I feel just off the top of my head between Beta and Husky or KTM is I feel a different progressive feeling, right? So like the Beta is very progressive in the power. It's like, it's so low on the bottom and it's just so luggy on the bottom. Whereas like this, I'm almost giving it less throttle, I feel, to hold traction. Because it's so snappy, it's so powerful. So we'll see how it holds traction in those technical situations. I think what we'll do is we'll pop over and see some concrete stuff. Like I said, I've got a pretty stiff moose in here, so that might be a little bit scary, but you know what, we'll try it and see what happens. All right guys, this is one of my favorite places to ride trials. Bunch of, yeah, trash. This is a blast. You got a whole bunch of concrete lines here. There's literally so many ways to do it. It's a little harder on the big bike, but this is actually kind of a decent little place to test. Again, we're just having fun. We're going first day of testing, first day of riding. We're gonna get into the hard enduro. I'm gonna give you guys a full review on this thing, but these concrete blocks are really, really slick. So it's good to kind of feel like, how good is the tractability of this thing? How much do I have to lug it? Can I get through some lines? So nice little zap here that I'm gonna do. So let's do it. Once again, I'll see the front brake here. Bam! That was okay. Not feeling the best though, honestly. Here we go. I'll tell you what, man, these Huskies have some pop. It's kind of wild how poppy KTM's. Not a great front brake still. There it is. That was a little bit moose, right? Like I said earlier, it's a little bit on the stiff side for me. Let me try one more. Horrible front brake. Such a bummer. I'm gonna keep harping on that. Gonna have to bleed it for sure. Yeah, bro. Yeah. How about a little zap action? If you come right over here, we've got these concrete blocks here. This is kind of a little bit of a sketchy line. It's kind of scary. Again, it's polished concrete. So this stuff is super slick. It's a little muddy on the ground here too, which means I'll probably track a bit. See that? Piece of wood in my way. I'm always looking for advantages, right? Unstuck technique, hips back, up onto the pegs, drive the weight, release the clutch. Not bad. Now from here, this is all trust in tire clutch. If I screw up, I'm sliding. I definitely made sure to lug it there. And it looked like it tracked pretty dang good. It was a little bit, yeah, you know, I knew that my tire might slip again. It's a pretty stiff moose in there. So I really made sure to lug, but it hooked up good. Yeah, I mean, this thing, it's smooth. I'm definitely impressed, man. I'm very happy. You know, I've rode TPIs all around the United States doing clinics, and there's always something to be desired, I would say. I'm liking what I'm feeling. Let's see if we can up the ante a little bit. That's a big step. Big enough to be tough. Not bad, a little bit of moose slide there. I think that was more technique than anything. Trying to lug it there to hold traction. That felt pretty good. Not bad at all. See if we can hit it on an angle. Oh, just about died. And here I go lining up again. Again, I think that's almost more moose than anything. Nice. Hearing that thing right there, I mean, the obstacle is one thing, right? Like up that obstacle, I held a little better traction. I hit it a little harder. Made sure to kind of chop that throttle, collect that power on top of the obstacle. But at the top there, that's the part that matters to me. How it was lugging through that loose dirt. I try to get it down into the bottom of the power, and it likes to go there. So that says to me, for hard enduro, this thing's gonna work pretty dang good. I'm excited, man. Husky back on a KTM after quite a few years. I love the betas. We'll see though. Could this be the bike that dethrones the beta? I'll tell you what, the front brake's junk, but I can probably fix that. I'm liking the lug. I'm liking the way it runs. We'll have to get some more high speed to kind of feel the frame. It doesn't feel rigid. You know, I've heard that quite a bit from people with these new bikes. It's like, oh, it's really rigid. Feels pretty dialed to me. I've got the setup that I do on every single bike. I kind of want to go over that real quick, just so everybody knows. I always run Astra Aurora series handlebars. They're a lower bend. I like these Astra off-road bars. They're dialed. Of course, SXS skid plate, cross-link components, swing arm guards. Got to keep that bike fresh. Bulletproof designs, rotor guards, and whatever they're called, radiator guards. Of course, IRC tires, JX8 rear, GX20 front. Mooses, I'm always adjusting mooses. This one's a little bit stiff. It could be a little better, but man, I want to hit something big. And I don't know if it's a good idea, but I'm gonna try it anyway. There's a big step over here, and I'm gonna go for it. I haven't done it for a while. In fact, I haven't done it since I was on a gas, so I don't really ride the big bike here that much. So we're gonna head over there and I'm gonna give it a shot. Let's do it. All right, guys, I said there was a big wall. Here we are. These are those huge concrete, I guess ballast or retaining walls, whatever. It's quite large. It's fully polished on top, makes it really, really tough. You can see it's taller than the handlebars. The hard part about this one is it's kind of undercut. It's tilted back. So that makes it brutal to not hit your skid plate on, which I'm a little nervous about. That one there is tilted forward. Obviously that one's like probably 7 feet, but that's not the best one for a brand new bike. I don't know, maybe I'll skip out on that one today, but this one, I mean, again, that's pretty large. I'm not gonna lie. Again, I don't know if you can tell on video or not, but it's pretty gnarly. I'm a little nervous. I haven't hit it for a while. So, but we're gonna give her. All right. This wall it's gnarly, man. Again, it's undercut too, which makes it really scary. I mean, you can tell. On a brand new bike, I may have bitten off more than I can chew. Also, it has a nice piece of rebar, but I'm definitely up to date on my tetanus, so I should be good. Oh, why did I say I'd do this? A little bit nervous. Oh, it's muddy right there too, so I'm gonna have to change my running, but taking a look. All right, that feels okay. What do you think, Romer? I just want to stay out of the mud because I know it's going to be slick on top regardless. And I've got a stiff moose in. Nice and smooth. Yeah. Just gotta trust it. Just trust it. My internal dialogue. That was scary. If I hit it just a tiny bit harder, commit a little harder. So far ways to fall. That's real, guys. Feels better. As I fell there, that twisted my front end just a little, so I'm trying to straighten it out here. I was getting up it, you know, and I felt that rear get up it, but I just didn't get in front of the bike enough. A little more momentum would help that, so I need to come in a little hotter. It's funny, that's the only way you test these things though, right? I don't just put them around for one day and get rid of it. I test them. I test them hard. The best way to test it is test your limits. That's pretty dang close to my limit, you know. That's a good 4-foot wall, and just straight up undercut the little things that make it extremely challenging. The thought of getting stabbed by rebar, all those little extra pieces make it a little bit on the sketchy side. I just got to commit a little harder, come in hotter, and she should go. Also, it's first day on the bike, right? So it's hard to know exactly what like power I'm putting in, all of it. It's just a little bit almost experimental for me. And this is, I honestly probably wouldn't do this on the first day, but figured since this is the first time we've done kind of one of these videos, I gotta give her. Crazy, you know, then I make it look easy, which is not. It's just one of those things, man. It's so funny. Like, I just got up that so clean, so easy right there. And you guys are like, why'd you crash on the first two? Mental stuff, you know, again, new bike. I'm trying to feel it out. Hopefully you can tell on video. I mean, obviously I was standing next to it so you could see. I mean, it's taller than the bars, however tall that is. Yeah, dude, this stuff is, it's brutal. It's so much fun to test and work, and yeah, that gets your adrenaline going. That was a lot of fun. I'll tell you what, man, this Husky is pretty sweet. I'm very excited to put more time on the machine. I mean, yes, I love motorcycles, man. I'm not a brand guy. I know I love the betas, but dude, I love anything with two wheels. Whether it's electric, 2-stroke, 4-stroke, whatever, man. I'm just here to ride. I love it. That was a lot of fun. This is gonna be a lot of fun to test, man. This thing might be killer in the hard enduro. So very soon you guys will see the full polished review on this machine. I'm gonna get into some hard enduro situations, but that was a good shakedown for the day. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Happy New Year. Thank you guys so much for the support of the channel. We got a lot more videos coming at you. And until next time, keep shredding.